25 minutes. In the 1950s, Stanford University, partly by design and partly good fortune, transformed an office park that it owned in Palo Alto into a place, or a hub, that provided a platform for the fostering of a new, innovative technology culture based on interaction, idea exchange, collaboration, and mutual support. Directly as a result of the creation of this central gathering spot, within a few decades, Silicon Valley surpassed every region in the world in terms of innovation, tech transfer, entrepreneurship, and early stage capital formation. Now every city in the country wants to emulate some level of this extraordinary success, but not every city has the resources to do it. Fortunately, we do. So not surprising, one of the key upshots of the recommendations from the work of our task force was the establishment of a hub, a dynamic center of gravity for the interaction and collaboration of entrepreneurs, innovators, venture capitalists, support players, and mentors. And the expectation, the vision is that over time this facility will catalyze a larger NYU-style urban campus containing other nearby offices and facilities teeming with players and organizations critical to a fully functioning ecosystem. The genesis of Centrifuge came about with a confluence of three main realities. Our airport, our vital port to the world, had been downsized by over 70% overnight. From this, we realized that we could not simply rely on recruiting companies to our city for economic development and growth. We knew we needed to look inward and direct our energy into ramping up our investment into the vast resources that already exist here in our community. And we also saw from a broad-based study that the aggregate venture capital spend in our region was woefully behind our peers. And these realities caused us to assess our regional landscape and identify not only our valuable resources, but the gaps or voids needed to be filled in order to have a vibrant ecosystem of R&D, tech transfer, and commercialization. We needed an organization that could become the connective tissue of this ecosystem, that could be the catalyst for the development of capital funds and other ingredients that are currently missing. An organization that can assure the continuity of startups development through every stage of evolution, and an organization that can help all the players take their game to a higher level. And that's what Centrifuge is meant to be. And over the past 9 months, under the passionate, intelligent leadership of Wendy Lee, it is settling into its rightful place. A support system for all the committed players and a catalyst for filling all of our gaps in order to create a sustainable tech-based economy in Cincinnati. I just want to pause for a second for some thanks here. Initially to Procter & Gamble, and especially Jeff Weedman and Bob McDonald. Jeff, we worked closely from day one. Jeff was the architect of the Fund of Funds, and Jeff was a driving force on behalf of Procter in putting all this together. I want to just hand it. Another person at the beginning and all the way through was Jim Anderson of Children's Hospital and Gary Lindgren, my colleague at CBC. I also want to thank the major investors in the Fund of Funds, primarily the University of Cincinnati, Western Southern Financial Group, Duke Energy, and Children's Hospital. And I also want to thank all the other CBC and RBC companies that are continuing to support the operations of Centrifuge. So Centrifuge may be responsible for the development of this facility, but today is not about Centrifuge. Today is about the entire ecosystem. It's about the brandery, it's about Cincy Tech, it's about Queen City Angels. It's about UpTech and Ocean. It's about everyone and every entity in our region that is contributing to this critical cornerstone platform, which is indispensable for the growth and development of our city in this 21st century. That we be successful in this effort cannot be understated. But given the amazing spirit and tenacity of our city, we have every reason to be very confident. Take the equity fund and 3CDC, which were established over 10 years ago. That success evolved exactly the same way we are jointly pursuing this. At that time, there were already some pioneers taking risk in the space, namely people living and working in over the Rhine and on the fringes of the central business district. Then the business community decided to commit the necessary resources required for transformational change. An organization was then created and an exceptional executive director was brought in. And most importantly, this next generation, your generation, the energetic, dynamic, youthful spirit of our city moved in and took over. Sustainable success was achieved here in Over the Rhine. And we can do this again. And we can take this hill. The business community will be there with the essential resources and provide the critical access and engagement to support your innovative ideas and entrepreneurial spirit. And Centrifuge will be there to serve as that connective tissue among all the various constituents, and will continue to seek ways to eliminate the gaps so that our region will have every support piece needed in the lifespan of a startup enterprise. As I said in a presentation to United Way several years ago, the world is moving at warp speed, and turbocharging this ecosystem is imperative for us to remain a highly relevant, world-class city for many decades to come. Thank you all for being here today.